I'm exhausted. Giants won. It's like a 5-year-old eating too much food. Thumbs up. All links here. Oh, come on.
Daily stock day trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Listen now.
I think I'm live.
Morning I wake up to the sound.
Morning, George. Yes, I am live. Sweet. Okay. Nothing in the core portfolio is flying. Either way. Uber's a screaming buy, but 4-hour algorithm just got you out with a little loss. Let me turn on the AI. There we go, AI tracking. Good morning. I am out of it. I did my Steve Kress interview yesterday, and unbelievably great content, but I'm a dumbass. He had a great slide presentation that we did, and that he did, I should say. He did it all. And he prepared it specifically for my podcast, which I was super thankful for. But Zoom recorded just us. So there is no talking head. So if I have anybody in this audience, if you're listening to this and you are some AI person who could literally get me a I think I may have, let me see if I can Clipify. I think I can show this. Let me see, sign in. So what I did was, we're going to go over there. What I did was, let's see. Home. I'm pretty sure I did my account storage. Let's see. My workspace. Yeah, there we go. So I went into this Clipify and I loaded a photo of me and Steve into this, but it only does 4 seconds. So this is this is what AI does, and I'm going to do this into Grok and try and come up with some type of thing, but I don't want to repeat 4 seconds of this all the time. I mean, it just does it makes no sense to me to do 4 seconds of over and over and over again kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you know, it's a interesting thing. Okay, we're gonna show that. We're going to close that. Let's see. We got Alpha Picks. We've got Seeking Alpha Premium. We get the bundle. We have Trendspider. By the way, there's a weekend sale going on Trendspider. So we're going to talk about Trendspider. I'm not going to do some scans. We're going to start off the show with kind of just going down a rabbit hole in Trendspider. And that's what I'm going to show. The quiz today, I got 8 out of 10. So on Seeking Alpha. So I'll talk about that. Applied Digital, I've just missed. I mean, honest to God, I've totally missed. So Delta, I need to find a Delta. Let's see. Delta killed it. And I was thinking, you know, I should put money into Delta. I think it was up 10% at some point yesterday. we'll just, you know what? We'll just put this up because I want to show that. That's a cool kind of feature that I don't think people know about. We'll put that up. Okay. And I just read something, by the way. If you had invested in AutoZone, like just dollar cost averaged into it, you would be a multi-millionaire right now for over to like 10 years or so. But I like this stock. We're going to do Larry, we're going to do a little dive into this stock. I also found a stock yesterday. It's undersea, subsea drones is what it's called. I heard the pitch. I like the pitch. And it's a pure play into Palmer Luckey's. Let's see. We'll show the underwater drones there. Let's just see. He has to have a picture of the underwater drones. Yeah. There we go. I thought it was an interesting pitch, to be, quite honest with you. And he's talking his book. He's got a lot into this. But it's a robotics company, so I like it. BSX or ZEP? No, we didn't bring up ZEP. We didn't bring up BSX either. We did. It was a great. I can't wait to release it, and I very well may just release the audio version on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. I may just release it as an audio version and say, because it's a great discussion, and just leave the chat up there. The presentation. I think it's very good for people to listen to who listen. I just think for something like Steve, where it shows you how he navigates the website and stuff like that, it's important to show. But nobody's going to sit there and watch a fucking slide with two guys talking over the top of it. So, but we're going to dive into some specific stocks. Netflix, I think this is a killer Netflix app. This is just a killer Netflix app. Another one that I have totally missed, but I think you should add to your watch list, is UiPath. This is just up, 50? I wrote it in my notes. It's up 57% in 1 month, 57.33%. By the way, good morning. Let's see. Good morning, George, Josh, Mark, Jersey. Yeah, you guys have a storm coming. Alex, Cam, George, Wendy, vacation guy, Camilo, Lisa, Carrie, Larry, and Jennifer. I am out of it. If you missed the beginning of this, I got a 20 sleep score on my watch, by the way. I started sleeping with the Apple Ultra watch, and I got a 20 last night, which, by the way, I've been at like 85, 100. I've had 2 nights at 100. So I had too much sugar late at night, and I didn't go to bed at the right time. And, yeah. By the way, Steve Kress brought up the Fear and Greed Index, and he's like, yeah, hey, it's a great, he loves it. He loves it. And we talked about April, and we talked about the downturn, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go over a lot of macro stuff. The S&P, yeah. It's just great stuff. We will go over, I'm going to bring this up because I want to, Kalshi Markets is something that's out there, but I want to show you, and I'm just going to, you know what? We're just going to open up a new browser when I get there. So, and yeah, it's hell getting old. I had a shit day yesterday. I just had a shit day. I had 2 guys take advantage of me. With Pine Straw, they showed up. Yeah, we'll do it for this price. And then it winds up being literally double the price that they told me after they lay it down. And what are you going to do? I gave them the money to let them get on their way, and just criminals, absolute criminals. But so I didn't have a good day yesterday. And then I have a meeting with Fidelity today, my financial advisor. And yes, I have one. It's free through Fidelity. Why do I have Fidelity? Because I can call up, and it's not because I'm, a high net worth guy. You get a freaking advisor with Fidelity. It's fantastic. And like I said, this podcast is actually turned into a business. So I have certain business things that I have to do with Fidelity. Like set up a self-directed 401k for the company. And yeah, I'm actually being paid from the podcast as an employee. So, but we're going to do this. Okay. Beats the alternative. And we did, Mark, just so you know, we did talk about the difference between Alpha Picks and the Pro. I have the Pro, and I've mentioned that I have the Pro. I am an affiliate. They gave it to me for free. I am still evaluating it. I will tell you, and I told Steve this, my personal opinion is that Alpha Picks, this bundle right here, for literally a third of the price of what the Pro costs you. I don't think you get Alpha Picks with the Pro version. You just get the Pro Quant. So you'd have to pay another $400 for the Alpha Picks portfolio, which for me, if I were a paying customer right now, I would absolutely go with the bundle instead of the Pro. Right now, and I'm not supposed to show any of this stuff in the Pro, and they've told me please don't show any of this stuff. Steve actually shows you some of the stuff, by the way, and that's why it's good to see the visuals of our discussion. I'm going to get it out this weekend. I promise I'm going to do some AI and some editing and stuff like that, but at the very least, I will release the talk version of it with the video this weekend. At least on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. It'll probably go up on YouTube too, because, who cares? If you want to listen on YouTube, you can. If you want to watch it on YouTube, you can. But I'll get it out there. It was a great hour-long discussion. And he literally shows Alpha Picks right on the screen. So if you want to, just see what's in Alpha Picks, some of the ones, he'll show you. And it's on the screen. And he didn't say block it out. So I'm just going to publish it. And he shows you some of the Pro stuff, I think, too. But it really was a great discussion. I think there's going to be... I learned a lot because I asked him, one of the things I told him, I said, one of the things that you told me in the last thing was that you like the PEG ratio. And so when you go into the valuation, and he even mentioned that, remember, Steve is the guy that wrote the program and wrote the actual logic behind the quant theory. So when you look at valuation and he says he likes the PEG ratio, guess what the valuation score relies on? Well, Apple's an F. Why? The PEG ratio is 3.54. Then I asked him, what's your favorite growth? Because mine is revenue growth. And he mentions what's his favorite growth. I have to go back and listen to it, to be honest with you. I think it was earnings per share and working capital growth. I think those were, it was a couple of one. And then I said, well, what's your favorite profitability? And he mentioned his favorite profitability. So I think it gives you a great insight, the discussion that we had, into a lot of things. So I'm excited to release it. I'm just upset that it probably won't be visually as compelling as I had hoped. And I learned I'm gonna use a different program other than Zoom. I signed up for Zoom, but I'm probably gonna just do a different program. So it is what it is. Biggest stop movers Friday. I don't care about any of this stuff. No. Okay. Let me start. Morning, Rob, Sean. I'm a little out of it this morning, just so you know. Good morning. It is Friday, October 10th. Your boy here is a little out of it today. My Apple sleep score was like 25 last night. just so you know, I've been sleeping with the Apple Watch Ultra, and I'll take a picture of all my new Apple devices because I'm actually up to date on everything Apple. I'm an Apple fanboy. Yes, I own the stock. Yes, I own everything. But today's show is going to be a little bit downtrodden. I was hoping for a big kind of energetic show to head into the weekend, but I think you're going to enjoy this because we're going to start out the show by showing you a rabbit hole in Trendspider. This isn't pre-planned. This is just, hey, we're sitting here. Let's look at what we can find in Trendspider. I will show you how Trendspider's incorporating Kalshi, the prediction markets into. You want to predict when the government's going to shut down? What are the prediction markets saying? Put it on your charts. Do all of that. And we'll go over the market because if you want to invest from 1 year from today, if you invest today, where will you be in 1 year? Well, let's put on our little, thinking caps and go through that. NVIDIA, it may still be cheap. They just got a $450 price target. So we'll go over the math on that one. A stock that's up 57% in 1 month. I will show you that one. Huge news for Netflix. An interesting Anduril defense tie-in. If you don't know Anduril, it's the #1 private defense company that Palmer Luckey is in charge of, and everybody's dying to invest in it, but it's a private company. There is a company that is doing undersea drones that will actually tie in. I saw the pitch yesterday. I kind of like it. Another stock that's up like 400% in a week. We'll go over that one because and earnings, it's starting out pretty good. So like I said, earnings season was coming up. It's starting out pretty well. But let's take a look at Trendspider first, okay? Because Trendspider sent me an email yesterday, and they are having a flash sale this weekend. So again, I point people towards the advanced tier. Why? Because when you have these flash sales, they give you 52 trainings per year. That's one per week, okay? So let's add this up in our brains. Go 117 divided by 4 because there's 4 weeks in a month. 52 weeks in a year. You can even do the yearly and divide it by 52. And that's how much you're paying for the training per training. It's an hour one-on-one with a product expert. So I didn't have this when I started with Trendspider. I wish they had this opportunity. If it's within your budget, I would say there. But if you just want the standard, you can get the standard. Again, sign up for my annual plan through Linktree. Click on Linktree. You have to go through this link because to get my 4-hour algorithm, you need to be under my affiliate program with an annual subscription. You can try this out for the weekend. I'm going to give you some ideas right now because if you just go here to Google and you type in Trendspider store, okay, there is a store where you can browse everything. They have strategies, they have scanners, they have indicators. Even the Kalshi market, you have Minaveri, VCP, you have the turtle traders. You have all of these additional things that you can put. The hackathon, which had a bunch, 82 assets, 82 things were developed. Okay? If you just want to do something and you find a scanner, let's look at that. Well, they have an EMA 821 scanner. That's one that I would look at, but it's an indicator. I'm not going to import it into my system because then I screw up my my view of what I have on target. And I've shown this before. I can't do it. But don't think that you need my 4-hour algorithm. You can get a week-long or a 2-week trial for $5. Or I'm sorry, it's $9 for 14 days. $9. $9 for 14 days. So get the trial. See if you like it, and if you don't, no harm, no foul. It's literally the price of a burrito at Chipotle. But I want to show you kind of something that you could do, okay? So let's go up here in the upper right, and again, I have all the watch lists that I share with you here. But say you just want to find a scanner, okay? Let's just go and look at scanners. I'm going to type in today's gainers right there, 10% or more. On the Russell 2000 index. Remember, small caps are the ones that will actually gain. Well, if you're interested in trading like this, You can do it. You can use Trendspider to do it. Now, this is in the 4-hour algorithm. The 4-hour algorithm got you in here at $6.73. But if you're looking for today's gainers, you're probably looking at trading at a shorter time frame, okay? And you can. Look, if you were in, like, say you got up this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, this was trading at 872. You don't have any real clear. But if you were looking at this in the afternoon yesterday and you saw this one take off because there might be news, I don't know, diversified holdings of beneficial index, let's just go see if Cody has any news on it from yesterday. Let's see. Compass? No, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. It's a sell. It would absolutely be a trade. But you can see this one was trading at $7.53. You can set up an alert for any stock that moves on a 5-minute chart, 5, 10, 15%. You can set up that alert for yourself and just have it emailed to you. So there are tons of things that you can do. And like I said, go over here. You can import any of these scanners. You can even import all of these strategies. So you have strategies built for Apple. Look at that. Performance 22%. You win 60% of the time on Apple, and you can change the symbol, but you understanding what the formula is, it will help you. This is a Bollinger Band breakout, long 1-hour strategy, over 1 hour. This wins 2,134% on Tesla. So when you import these things in, just understand, you can look at these things and just say, interesting. Or you can set yourself up a strategy like the 4-hour, which is what I like. And it works really, really well on the stocks that I trade. So if I just go back here and look at the core investments by Gary, and I look at Apple, the historic performance of Apple over time, it doesn't do well within the last 2 years. But when I developed this in 2000, it worked in 2020. It worked really, really well. And if you sign up for an annual plan and you don't get an email from me, email me. My email address is up here in the upper right, okay? Sometimes you don't fall within my my affiliate program with Trendspider. And we've been seeing that a little bit. So just email me, but understand this is a huge program and it's an enormous sale. So take advantage of it because it's only 2 days. But that's the type of thing you can do. You can run down that type of rabbit hole. And here we go, Kalshi. Prediction markets are now included. And you can import all of these things. Kalshi trending crypto, Kalshi trending financials, Kalshi trending companies, trending sports, trending politics, trending custom. A lot of this is stuff that you can do. And again, you try with Kalshi. With $40, you can sign up with Kalshi through Trendspider, and they're going to give you $40 to actually use in the prediction markets. That's kind of nice. I haven't tried it. Maybe I'm going to go try it. Maybe over the weekend with the NFL. But let's look at the markets now, because we're talking about short-term trading there in Trendspider. I use it for long-term trading. And my 4-hour is long-term. I consider it a long-term guide. I don't consider that one a short-term trading platform. I consider it a long-term. But here you go. Ryan tells you the S&P is up more than 35% within the last 6 months. One of the best 6 months in the history of the market. The 5 other times this has happened since 1950s, stocks were higher a year later, every time, every single time, every time. The average 13%, the median 10%. All years since 1950, 9.2 and 10.4. So again, if you're interested in trading in the market, you can trade, but I continue to tell you, buy and hold good companies with good products, with good profits and good management. That is a far better way to make money in the market. You just need to identify these things. And if you get scared out, again, use something like the 4-hour algorithm. I just sold a stock that is in Alpha Picks that I added back in August. I added quite a bit, had a 28% run since August. I trimmed it. I'm still overweight on it, but I've identified technical trading strategies that I like. And if you think we're in a bubble, guess what? Microsoft's forecast shows that data center demand, if you don't know just economics, okay, there's a thing called supply and demand. Go and have a conversation with AI about supply and demand and ask it about the dynamics of supply and demand. When you have too much demand and not enough supply, what happens? Prices go up. That's a simple explanation of inflation. When the supply chain shrank and we didn't have enough supply, but demand even stayed the same or even went up, you had inflation. That's what's going on with data centers right now. Microsoft is saying that the demand is outpacing the actual supply. Guess who that's good for? IREN. Guess who that's good for? Energy companies. Guess who that's good for? Microsoft, Amazon, the hyperscalers. It's good, and it's good for the economy. Everything seems to be running on AI. And if demand is that high, then they're going to have to build capacity with, again, points to Dell, points to those types of situations. It's an AI market. Okay, and I just talked about energy. Here's the elephant in the room. Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, OpenAI have announced $800 billion in commitments for new data centers. Where's the electricity coming from? Electricity has gone up 35% in the US since this was announced. FYI, nuclear is 10 plus years away. So while you're betting on your Oklos and your SMR, and you're putting money into CCJ, which is Cameco, it's not a bad idea, but where's the electricity coming from? There needs to be something out there. And FYI, I think some of these utilities, like Constellation Energy, like Southern Company, like Duke, find some that you like, because they're going to raise prices. This is the inflation that you're going to hear about. And we're on day 9 of government shutdown. I mean, there's no countdown here. There's nobody even talking about it. And the fear and greed index is at 49. Nobody's greedy. You know, we're at all-time highs. Everybody's screaming valuation is nuts. You know, I should get out of the market. That's when you want to buy. One of the things that Steve Crest and I talked about yesterday was April. And nothing changed in April about the fundamentals of the stocks. And when he wrote that letter, and I credited him yesterday, when he wrote the letter to Alpha Pick subscribers in April and said nothing has changed about the fundamentals of the stocks that we own. They are getting beaten, and they were getting beaten down larger than the market. Okay? But he showed a great graph yesterday, and it's going to be included in the episode, of how Alpha Picks went down more, but it's been up historically more. So it had more room to drop. But when you get to that fear and extreme fear, remember what Warren Buffett says. Okay? He says, when other people are fearful, be greedy. When other people are greedy, be fearful. We're neutral right now. I'm very happy with the portfolio that I have. I'm trimming some. I'm adding to others. But I'm not getting scared out of this market because, again, the math makes sense. And speaking of math, NVIDIA just got a $300 price target. And I heard this morning, I think there's a $400 price target out there. And Cantor says this is not a bubble. We are still early in the investment cycle. Put simply, Jensen and the team are focused and competitive as ever, and they are playing to win. We do not see a scenario where NVIDIA fails to secure at least 75% of the AI accelerator market over time. If you look at NVIDIA stock, and we go with this, okay? NVIDIA stock in the 4-hour algorithm, it had you in here at 176. I will still say there is a support at 168, but if you just look at these previous all-time highs at 180, that looks like a support level that I could start buying at as well. If you just put this at 185, look, you pulled back there. That was through the summer, and then you took off. And then back here in October, the early October, October 7th, you pulled back there and then you took off again. If you look at a weekly chart, it does seem extended. Could we have a pullback? Absolutely, we could have a pullback. I would say if it's me, anything towards the 150, I'm loading up on this baby. Why? Well, let's just do the math. They also say $8 of earnings per share next year. Okay, next year. Put a 27 multiple, just times 8 by 27. That's a 27 multiple on next year. Okay, let me just see. What's 8 times 27?
The answer is 216.
That is next year's price. You're trading at 192 right now, 216. But let's just do the math. On 2027, what's 11 times 27?
The answer is 297.
There you go, 300. So if they're saying right now that their estimates are putting them at $11, there's your $300 price. And FYI, if you get a pullback to 150, you're doubling by 2027 with a 27 multiple. If you go and look at the multiple on NVIDIA right now, let's just go and look at it again. Pull up your favorite tool. Mine is Seeking Alpha, but you're seeing right now it's trading at 42. There's a lot more earnings that are involved with just putting this at a 27 multiple. So again, that's the thing that you have to think about is, hey, these earnings are coming in. NVIDIA, and yes, there's this whole rumor about these guys are just circling around, blah, blah, blah. Earnings are important this quarter because if the earnings start to slow down, like in Amazon, like Google, like Microsoft, then they don't have the money to actually put into some of this NVIDIA stuff. So you'll see the market and the multiples start to come down. But let's talk about some individual stocks that I haven't talked about before. UiPath. This one was up 18% yesterday. I want to point out that it's up 57% in 1 month. Why? Well, it soared. Just look at the articles. It soars to 16-month high amid optimism around AI partnerships. Why? Because they're partnering with OpenAI, with NVIDIA, and Snowflake, and Google. So again, it's an automation platform. Does this one make sense for you? Because right now, I can tell you from looking at this one, and I just look at the quant, well, the valuation's a D. This kind of run up in the valuation kind of makes it a bit stretched. Okay, growth is a D, which means it's not growing as much as it was before. Profitability, it's still an A. Momentum, it's been great. Okay, if you just look at momentum, 1 year it's up 48%. I'd be perfectly happy with that. 9 months is up 37%. Again, I'd be perfectly happy with that. 6 months, 67%. 3 months, 38%. So again, I'd be perfectly happy with that. And when you look at revisions, 18 up, 0 down on earnings per share. So again, the quant rating is what you want to look at. It's nice and easy for me to look at this. And if I didn't know anything about this stock, then I've got tons of analysts. This one is just published this morning. He's downgrading it. Why he's a bit cautious. Go and read it. Again, the market decides what the price is for a stock. Analysts don't. But if you don't read the analyst and you don't understand it, you could get stuck holding the bag with something that's not good. So understand you have to go and do this type of research for a stock that you own. That's why I like premium and alpha picks. Okay? Seeking Alpha Premium allows me to do this research. It's nice and simple. Work smarter, not harder. I can do all my research within 10 or 15 minutes. And if I don't want to do the research, I've got a predetermined data-driven portfolio of stocks that outperform the S&P. And yesterday, I was just scrolling up and down my Alpha Picks list. I have a list here in Trendspider that is Alpha Picks. I keep this up to date. And when I want to go through it, I just go through the entire portfolio there. I look at the charts and I say, ooh, this one's running. I got $10,000. Let me put it into this one. It's a strong buy in the quant, and I go and do my research. Alpha Picks, it's a great portfolio. I would not get Alpha Picks by itself. I would have the bundle. That's why I like the bundle. I think it's in this kind of market, this is simple as you can be to make back that subscription price. You don't even need Seeking Alpha to make back that subscription price. You don't need it. But in the market that may come up, if we are stretched, you may need Alpha Picks because Alpha Picks has outperformed again. Remember, this started in 2022. We had a down year in 2022. It was up in 2022. They do a good job, and I will release my discussion with Steve Kress coming up this weekend, and he talks all about it. Another one, Netflix. We've talked about this one because this one was getting that cancel kind of culture. FYI, conservatives are now the cancel culture party. They are. Netflix, it's a great stock. I'm going to be watching Netflix on Christmas with football. Got you a buy in the algorithm right here yesterday, $11.97. You're at $12.30 right now. Netflix is launching video games to TV screens. If you didn't know, on your phone, if you go to Netflix, you can play mobile games. Those games will now be able to be played on your Apple TV, on your Roku devices, through the Netflix app. So your Netflix subscription is now bringing you games. Imagine this over the holidays. You're at home and you want to play some Grand Theft Auto with grandma. Yeah, you can play Grand Theft Auto with grandma on your Apple TV, on your Roku device, through the Netflix app. I think this one is a great buy. Is it a fantastic buy? No, it's stretched on valuation when you look at this, but it has been stretched on valuation forever. And if you look at 6 months ago, the quant, it was A. Well, let's look at it 6 months. 6 months ago, this is up 30%. We're seeing a dip right now. Is this one going to move higher? Well, Wall Street says that it's worth $13.58. That's a 10% upside. And if you don't know about Netflix and you want to see about all the risks, this is what Seeking Alpha gives you. It gives you the full thing, the positive rated by the analyst, the concerns raised by the analyst. It gives you the full quant rating explanation specific to Netflix. And it was just generated on 10/6. So overnight, you get your own Wall Street analyst to write you reports on the stocks that you own. Netflix, it's one that I want to add to. And FYI, just got the buy here and I have confirmation. I'll probably be adding to this. It wins 59% of the time in Trendspider. So that's how I add to this position. It's quite simple. Now, I was on Spaces yesterday. I wasn't speaking on Spaces. I was just listening to the Wolf podcast. And I heard this guy, Michael Sikand, and he was invited on to talk about his video here, okay? Here it is on Twitter. He kind of puts out there, he just put 70% of his portfolio. He was absolutely talking his book. But it made sense. And that person you see right there is Palmer Luckey. He has the #1 defense company and it's private. You can't invest in it right now. It is private. It's called Anduril. I don't exactly know what. But it is a defense company that is getting a lot of attention. And it's a drone company. Well, Anduril is starting their undersea drones. That's what this company does, Kraken Robotics. And you can invest in it. Yes, you can. There's a YouTube video on this one as well. Their revenue is growing by 56%. I liked the pitch. Now I went and I said, let me look at this up here on Seeking Alpha. And I go and look. Well, there's no Wall Street analyst covering it. There's no quant that's covering it. But Seeking Alpha analysts, they have covered it. And they rate it a buy. Okay, there's 2 analysts that have covered it, and you can scroll down here and look. This one was just on September 4th. Changed since this report was written, 71%. That's just September 4th, 71%. And you can find out all about the financials. I was looking at this, 66 million trailing 12 months in revenue. We look at the summer, the market cap is 1.33 billion. Okay, here's the thing that you have to know on this. it has very little cash. Super little amounts of cash. Okay, when we look at the profitability, I think it's cash from operation, cash per share, 9 cents. 9 cents per share. Okay, that's not a lot of money. This is an expensive business. They will need to dilute. So for me, it would absolutely be a trade. It's a Canadian stock. It's on the Canadian listing right now. It may get moved to the NASDAQ. If you see it move to the NASDAQ, it might absolutely start to pump. So it's one you want to put on a watch list. And if you want to take the risk, go and get it. Okay, it's about risk reward. You're going to need to do the research. And if you want to trade it in a Trendspider, KRKNF. Let's just look at it. I haven't looked at it. KNF. It's not in there because it's a Canadian stock. But you're going to have to do the research on that one, understand it, find it. I like the pitch. Go and read the pitch. I'll put it in the newsletter today. Another one that I love the pitch on, and I'm afraid that I may have missed it, but I don't think I've missed it because I think it's still cheap. It's an AI utility play, and Daniel Newman has been all over this one. He's been all over a lot of these. But CIFR, Cipher, I think that's how you say it, Cipher Mining. Look at this one. Since August, $4.83. You're at 17, almost 8. Yeah, in pre-market, you're at 18.50. 18.50. Okay? $18.50. You had the golden cross of the 50-day. If you were just trading this on a technical standpoint with the 4-hour, you had this nice golden cross right here, which would push me into this stock at $4, got you out with a 48% gain. Boom. You didn't live through that complete downturn, just a little bit of it. You got back in at $4.83, and you're on this run. You're on this run. And FYI, let's just look at, that's a 266% run in 57 days. Just look at some of this, okay? Market cap, $5 billion, $1.3 billion in cash. They have no debt. Megawatt deals, 150 to 300. Signaled 13 to 33 billion. Private program, 56 megawatts. I have no idea what this means. Load it into AI. See if you want it. There's another one here. The CEO of Cipher is literally telling you, hold strong, be patient. They just raised like $2 billion. There's a potential move from $5 billion to $30 billion. CIFR, let's look at it. Let's look at some of the fundamentals of CIFR. Because right now it's got a $7 billion market cap. Okay, $7 billion. The valuation stretched. It's a D. Their PE going forward, you're trading at 50 times forward earnings. Now their growth, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Profitability, not that great. Not that great. Their gross margin is 21%, but their momentum is fantastic. But the revisions, again, there's 3 analysts that cover this that are up, 6 are down. So they're revising things down. That's not good. That's not good. Wall Street, their price target, $16. You're trading at $18 in pre-market. Do you want to get this one? I would add this one. For me, this would absolutely be a trade. I don't want to buy it at $18. Its 52-week high is $18.18. The market hasn't opened up yet. I would like this one at 16 minimum. Or I said 16 maximum, I should say. That's where I would look to be adding to this one at 16. Because what do? I just go over here and I say, you know what? The previous high right here at 1554, that's where I want to see it pull back to. If that puts a support level in, if you see a can, I can start adding to that one. Okay, this purple line, the Trendspider, I've never looked at this one, but this is kind of where they think that it's going. It's kind of AI. It's in there. But this one very well may wind up on my November watch list. It's one that I've been looking at. I've been reading about. I like the hype, but I'm also practical. I'm not a guy who's going to go into something that is just hype. And if I do, it's going to be a trade and it's going to have some tight restrictions on it. Now let's talk about one that I said that I was feeling good about. This was Delta. Now Delta said, hey, our planes are packed. We're gonna up our full year outlook. Blah blah blah. Free cash flow, fantastic. I want to point out something that maybe some Seeking Alpha subscribers don't know, but you can click on this earning call insight, and it pulls up all of these earnings calls. It's an AI summary of all of these earnings calls. If you just put in a symbol, you can look it up. But let's look at Delta real quick, because Delta on Wall Street, there are 22 analysts that cover it. 17 of them say it's a strong buy. They actually have a price target of $69. Does that make sense? Well, valuation's not super stretched. I'm not a huge fan of airlines, but it's not stretched. Their growth, revenue growth year over year is 4%. Their levered free cash flow, unbelievable, 20,000% gain. There's something funky going on there, but their profitability is fantastic. You're paying for airline tickets, and you're paying a premium for Delta. Their momentum, fantastic. Their 9-month performance, not great, but their 3-month performance, 17%, 34%. Again, this is a freaking airline. And like I said, analysts are bringing their estimates up. So let's go look at it from a technical standpoint. Do you want to buy this one? Well, Delta Airlines trades really well in the 4-hour. I had mentioned this prior to, back on Monday when we went over this, that, hey, Thursday morning is Delta earnings. And they're going to have the earning, $57. And I said, probably a pretty good bet. You're at $59 right now. But FYI, yesterday during the market, it got to 62. Now, what's ironic about this is that if you just look at this and you were to put a line here, 63 might be the top, the most recent top of what you're doing. But if you go back here to February of this year, we were at 68. Does the risk reward match what you want? For me, I'm not huge on airlines. I don't want to chase something. I don't fly Delta Airlines all that much, even though I'm in Atlanta. Not my thing. But if I were trading this, I would absolutely trade it on the 4-hour. Why? The 4-hour algorithm makes you 115% versus 62%. Provides me some safety, some knowledge, knowing, there's never any guarantee of your future performance, but it provides me some internal, like, psychological comfort. And again, Trendspider's on sale. Makes sense to get it while it's on sale. Sign up for an annual plan. Get the 4-hour. I trade on this all the time. It's my comfort. And I'm going to give you one that I missed completely. And I didn't like this one. When it was at $5, I didn't like this stock. Applied Digital. They blew it away. 84% jump in revenue. It's up 27%. It's up 30% in pre-market. And these things changed overnight. So it's now a D on valuation because it's gone up so much. Wall Street has it as a strong buy, but their price is 27. They will start bringing that up, by the way. They absolutely will start bringing that up. Now, the growth is phenomenal. Again, EBITDA growth going forward, 113% is what they're estimating. This over 6 months is up 430%. Again, 6 months. In 1 month, you've doubled your money. It's an amazing, amazing stock. And again, it's earnings related. APLD, let's go and look at how the 4-hour algorithm does on this one. It does well, 127%, but if you bought and held, you're up 349. It got you in before earnings at $16. You're trading at $37. That's more than double. And when did you buy? September 10th. 1 month ago. Again, 100%. You're there. Again, I mentioned yesterday in the podcast, what's the one thing that could bring this market down? It's earnings. We've had a couple of earnings so far. Next week is the big one. So watch out for today. Today in Seeking Alpha, you're going to get the Catalyst Watch. It will be all over here at 3 o'clock today. But so far, earnings are showing that they are coming in super, super strong. Now, one other thing that I love about Seeking Alpha Fridays, you get the weekly trivia. And I got 8 right today, 2 wrong. Last week, I think it was perfect. I think my average is somewhere around 7. I got 2 wrong today. Go and take it. You know, I'll put it in the newsletter, the link for it in the newsletter. But if you're interested, I actually like it. It's kind of something nice. Now, I want to point this out too. If you just go and look, Google Trendspider blog, you can find all of this blog, and it's a great blog to actually sign up for. They have a ton of newsletters that they do where they give you technical analysis. And the biggest thing that you could do this weekend, say you're just interested, you don't want to sign up for Trendspider, but you're interested in learning. They have a Trendspider University. This is all free, by the way. This isn't paid for. And this Trendspider University, it teaches you technical trading, and it teaches you about the product. Take an hour of your time this weekend, okay? Rather than going and watching a Netflix show, watch some of this stuff. Educate yourself. If you don't understand technical trading, understand that I was not a huge technician up until 2020. And what happened in 2020 was I retired in January of 2020 from the grind. I had enough money and I said, you know what? I'm walking away. I wound up losing 45, close to 50% of my actual portfolio, brokerage and retirement by the month of March. Again, in 1 month. I was down that much. It was that much of a shock. I had used charts before. I wasn't heavy into charts. And what I did was specifically on Apple, because Apple was my largest position. And I said, you know what? I want to avoid this in the future. And you can see 2020 right there. This is 2018, sorry. 2020 right here. It just dropped down. Let's put it into perspective from the top to the bottom. You're down 32%. I mean, I've lived through other drawdowns in Apple. That one hurt because I retired. And when I retired, I said, you know what? I don't want to live through that again. I want to have some type of certainty and some type of comfort level in that when someone tells me to get out, I know exactly what the back-tested strategy does. And so I built this strategy around Apple, around Microsoft, around Amazon, large cap tech. It works for many, many stocks. Specifically with Apple over the last 24 months, it makes you 29%, whereas buying and holding makes you 46%. So am I selling and buying based on this? No, but I use it as a guide. When it told you to buy here at $239, I had said, hey, that's a old resistance point. I sold some here. I didn't buy, I trimmed. But you know what? Here on this dividend date right here, right after it got 218, I bought, my reinvested dividends, which is $5,000, $10,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's a lot of freaking money, and it's a big position, and it just goes in there automatically. And so when I trim this stock, I am trimming stocks that I probably bought in 2006, 2007, where it's at literally, if we just go back here and we look at this stock, what was it trading for in, let's just go back January 2006. The stock was trading for $2.74. So do I care if I'm selling at $240 versus $260? No. I'm trimming it. I'm not getting rid of my full position, but that's me managing my portfolio. And remember, this podcast is about my portfolio. It's about how I look at the market. It's how I look at opportunities. It's not about you. I just give you the opportunity to see my process. And my process is pretty good. Again, I've been retired for 5 years. I've got more than enough money to live on. I'm perfectly comfortable. I'd make more money trading. I just like providing and going over this. I would normally spend an hour a day just going over this. I spend 4 or 5 hours because I've got to produce the show. I do all my research, then I got to produce the show, then I've got to write the newsletter, I've got to do all of that stuff. So it is almost like a full-time job. But I do it for the benefit of people, and I get emails all the time. You don't need to email me. You don't need to thank me. I think I do a good enough job that hey, you making money is enough, thanks. But again, if you want any of these tools, I don't care if you sign up for them. But if you want them, the two that I would personally go for, the first is Trendspider. Choose whichever level of service fits within your budget. A month. if you can only afford $41 a month. Okay? Do not do that. But if you think and you logically put it in your mind that I'm going to sign up for this for a year and do 52 training sessions, 1 hour per week with a product expert, and I'm going to learn about technical trading, and they're going to teach me about the platform. If you think about it that way, that 117 is a freaking bargain. Because name another professional service or some type of skill that you can learn for like $20 an hour. That's it. I mean, again, that's what the first tool I would go for. The second tool I would go for, and I'm not selling you on the pro. I make more money if you go with the pro. I would sell you on this one because this is the one that I've been successful with for 5 years now. Again, with these tools, I've been retired and I do less work than when I was actually working a job. I used to do a lot more of research and charting and things of that sort when I was actually working a job because I had Fidelity Active Trader Pro. I couldn't do all the things that I can do today in Trendspider. And I didn't have the great tools like Seeking Alpha and Alpha Picks. So if you're interested, sign up. If not, just go and find tools. Again, you have AI. I told my friends the other day, every day I go to the gym, I have a conversation. I have trained Grok. I have loaded up my podcast. And so Grok knows about my podcast. I ask it, tell me one thing I don't know in the market. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's shit. But I have that conversation with AI. And many times I learn things. So I will talk to you on Monday. Look for the Steve Kress interview at some point this weekend. If you're interested, you're free to write to me. You're free to contact me. I hope you enjoyed the show because I got to go back and nap. I'll talk to you Monday. Bye. Oh, see, I want to put everything away. I'm done. You picked up Cody, vacation guy? That's random. Release the Kraken. Kraken actually looks interesting to me. I mean, I don't know that I'll ever buy it, but the pitch made me interested. The pitch definitely made me interested. I don't know why I couldn't find it in Trendspider. No, it's not in there. Huh. But and Eli, I've got a newsletter. Let's see. AI Power. I think I did one. Yeah. This newsletter, I'll share it. Copy link. This newsletter, Eli, I went and asked Perplexity about the top energy stocks. I don't even know what's in here, to be honest with you, but the picks I would pick personally, I think I talked about this with my friend the other day. I think Constellation Energy is an interesting one. And in fact, I mean, let's just go to the screener here. I'll show you kind of stock screener. I think there's a power, top small cap stock, value stocks, stocks only covered by Seeking Alpha, consumer discretionary, top industrial, top energy stocks. So IMPP, DINO, I don't know. NGL, that's oil and gas transport. Yeah, see, that's oil and gas. I did talk to Steve about the quant, and what was interesting was, let's look at utilities. I'm pretty sure, yeah, they have a top utility. I did talk to him about why foreign stocks, I don't like that foreign stocks are up as high, but he said, hey, the quant is the quant. It's just kind of, it's going to put it up there. Doesn't care that you have to pay a fee to your broker. But American Electric Power, let's see. Wall Street thinks it's worth 115. It's trading at 116. 19 analysts that cover it. 62 billion. Let's see. It's ranked number. Oklo's up here. But energy has run so much. Now, XLE, what's interesting about XLE is that it hasn't really kept up with the need for power. I mean, that's not a chart that says, oh my God, energy is in short supply. How'd you find Cody Vacation Guy? Was it just the spike? Oh, I'm always interested in how people find stuff. James got 9. Spaces. Yeah. Twitter's a great place to find some stuff. Discord. I'm not in any, I can't even understand Discord. So just, I mean, I have tried to go into Discord and I literally don't understand it. I have no idea what I'm doing in Discord. Okay, let me, I've got too much stuff on my desktop because of the Steve Crest thing. Okay, let's see. We're gonna colorize it a little. Boom, boom, and then I have to, the volume, auto.
October 10th. Your boy here.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I'm just putting that in. That's good enough. Export file. Next, we're going to name this one. Where's my notes? Copy, paste, save. Okay. Yeah, I come from bulletin board kind of era and instant messenger, and I just can't get it. Don't get it. Let's see my Webull account. Oh, I'm up. What's up? And let's see. Everything's green in my Webull account. Wow. Let's see about Fidelity. Trendspider actually offered to get me on a call with them to do a one-on-one just to train me on Discord. They want to run a Discord for me. I am up 0.31. Probably because Apple's outbeating it. Yeah, 0.5. So I'm up 0.31. It's good enough. I mean, I wish people would, I need to start having listeners who have upgraded to Trendspider and Seeking Alpha on. I may put out that call later. Let's go into a Canva. I need a thumbnail. So, let's go into a thumbnail. Where is my YouTube? YouTube thumbnail. Premium templates. 5 must-watch stocks. It's a nice, easy one to do. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. We're going to take that out. Uploads. Webull implemented playback. Playback of what? The earnings calls or something? Let's see. I think I have a pointing one. I thought I had one of me pointing. That's better than those douchey ones. Not the one of me pointing forward. This? No, that's a bad picture. I can't clean that one up. I should just delete it. You know what? Let's just delete that. Did I delete Seeking Alpha? Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, I think I deleted the Seeking Alpha logo. Oh, now I gotta go. Let me open up one of my previous ones. There we go. Copy. Put this over here. Paste. And let me see. Is it in there now? No. I'm gonna have to download it again, damn it. Yeah, you shouldn't have gotten rid of hot. Let's put in that one. Why not? Put in this one. And we'll say copy. Oh, Daisy. Why? Soro 2 was I wish I had access. If I had access to Soro 2, I wouldn't have to do all the damn editing. Let's just put this up here. And We'll center that. We're going to put Seeking Alpha down here. $5 stocks. Hold on. I gotta see why she's crying. Hold on, Daisy. Oh, you just wanted her out of bed. All you wanted was her out of bed. Oh. Oof. Let's see. Elements. Let's just say sale. Graphics. Let's see if there's a flash sale. Let's see, what's the... Boom, 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 boom. Shrink that down, shrink that down. Move that down there. Let's get, and let's put in a big 5. Let's see. We're gonna group, and we'll move that down there. Okay, I'm done. I've had enough. That's enough creativity for me. Oh, by the way, I broke down and made comment my default browser. Yeah. I will tell you, so in my upper right hand corner, you can't see it, but I have Gemini. This is Chrome that I use. No, Comet is built on the Chrome browser, and I want to use it. The problem that I have is here on OBS, when I actually start to use it, it winds up kind of screwing up the broadcast a little, and I can't figure out why. It's just something that happens for some reason, and it kind of sticks. And oh, don't freeze on me. Oh, there we go. And I don't know why, but I do think that Comet does it better than Gemini. And specifically using yesterday as an example, I was trying to do that custom, the custom talking heads. And Eli, you may not have seen this, but Clipify. So I interviewed Steve Kress yesterday, and for some reason, Zoom did not record the cameras. It just recorded the screen. And so, where is this? My workspace, that's what it's in. I have been trying to do this. So I uploaded a screenshot of Steve Kress and myself, and it's 4 seconds long. And so I was going to put that into the podcast as kind of the talking heads, but it's 4 fucking seconds. So I'm looking for an AI that will do, it's an hour-long podcast. I probably need at least 5 minutes of different kind of camera angles and different kind of stuff. Maybe even like 3 minutes that I can just zoom in and zoom out and do that kind of stuff. Clipify looked at it. The problem is that you need a ton of credits. And I'd probably need like 10,000 credits to do what I need. I'm not paying $300 for freaking, to have somebody watch a video when the actual content is the good part about it. So I'll figure it out, but using Gemini, it wasn't as good as Comet was in trying to determine, okay, what's a tool that can do this? What's a free tool that can do this? Give me an idea of the prompts that I need to use. Comet was far better than Gemini. And I would have thought that Google, through its new visual platform, could have done it better. But it actually didn't. And it was crazy. I mean, I don't know if it was me. I just don't know if it was me. I don't think it was, because I consider myself to be a fairly good prompter. But who knows? I mean, again, you never kind of know exactly what the ins and outs of a large language model actually are. Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Oh, no. No. I want to go down towards the summary there. There we go. Upload the image. And we're going to go over here. Copy. Oh, why does it do this to me? Create. Upload video. Is it not gonna upload for me? Okay. Oh, I don't need all that. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I haven't paid for AI yet. But here's the thing, and this is kind of what I probably, I mean, I think I brought it up on the show before, but I don't know if I have. You should be preparing to pay for all of this. I mean, this is free right now, but do. We're shit stirring on group texts. I had mentioned that maybe Philadelphia could get a WNBA team so they can have a chance of winning something after last night's losses. The Giants won, just in case anybody was wondering. Can you give me 2 more alternative titles? Copy. Let's see. A/B testing. Okay, there's one. And there's 2. Set. We're gonna go down here and check off promotional content. Everybody should know there's promotional content, but I am a huge hater of Philly, but I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's actually a good human being, and Saquon is a good human being as well. It's the other douchebags in Philly that I hate. I mean, they're honest to God, I've worked at that stadium. Their fan base is a bunch of douchebags, and they know they're a bunch of douchebags, and they wear it like a badge of honor. I don't know that I'd wear that a badge of honor. It's not like the Giants are much better, though. I mean, honest to God, it's not like the Giants are much better. But, do copy. Alpha picks. Okay, we've got that. I need the Linktree link. I don't know why it doesn't copy and paste over, and I should just get it out of there, but okay, we're going to, and that's all set. Upload file, downloads. I worked at Lincoln Field. I used to work for Major League Soccer, and I worked at Lincoln Field. I think it was last year, actually, at this time, because the Phillies were in the playoffs, and there was a Germany versus Mexico game. But there was I remember there was a Phillies playoff game at the same time, and it was just bad. Let's see if I can get YouTube tags. Oh, make it a single line with commas in between. God, I hate this. I think I saw that one. I just haven't read it. I don't read much books. I mean, I'm not a very good reader. I probably should get it on books on tape, to be honest with you, but I might listen to it in the car, but even those annoy me. I'm more of a news conversation kind of guy, like a podcast kind of thing. Books tend to bore the hell out of me. And I have such a bad memory comprehension that I just never do well with books. Public, publish, and then live. Oh, I need to change that later. Okay, edit the ad placement, and we're going to do smart ads on Spotfiy. Spotfiy does load up my thing with ads, but yeah, that was a traffic nightmare. And so when the game was over, I actually got a police escort back to the hotel, which was nice. It was super nice. I mean, you know, again, I think it's the fan base in Philly that I hate. The cops were super great. In fact, it was funny because I was flying back the next day, and I walked into the airport, and guy at the airport was the cop that gave me an escort. He was the cop that stopped me, and then the other cop said, "Hey, he's the ticket guy, the credential guy. We're giving him a way out." And the guy who first stopped me and said, whoa, what are you doing? And wanted to take me to jail. He saw me in the airport, and he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. He goes, I didn't know who you were. We thought you were like ramming us and coming in and trying to shortcut. And I said, no. I was just leaving. And he's like, yeah. He goes, let me buy you a cup of coffee. I said, no, you don't have to do that. I said, I'll buy you a cup of coffee because I'm on expense. So I bought him a cup of coffee. They're just doing their job. Okay. Spotfiy and YouTube are up onto Game 5. I can't believe New York won either. Honest to God, I'm sitting there. Saquon runs for 30 yards and then like 30 yards again, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. I mean, I think if you pick and choose any fan base out of the all over the country, you're gonna find embarrassments. But I thought my best line of the morning was telling the guys, yeah, maybe Philly will get a WNBA team so they'll have something to cheer about. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm too tired. I guess to go write this newsletter too. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend, everybody. See ya.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in. hopes and fears.